Hi, thank you for showing up for your learning. Each one of these foundational skills is going to build those mental math skills, so let's take a look at what it looks like. Here we are adding and subtracting integers. Negative 6 plus 9, well, that's 3. Negative 1 plus 4, I also know that that is 3. It's positive because the bigger number is positive. Here, this is 6 plus negative 5. This is the same thing as 6 minus 5. This is 1. Negative 9 plus negative 10, negative 19, and so on. And I get a lot of practice very quickly doing rapid fire calculations in my head. And eventually I'm going to get one of these wrong. And when I get them wrong, I say, oh, that's too bad. I didn't get all the way to 10. It took me 30 seconds to do that. Maybe I can do better next time. And I move on to the next category. Multiplication tables is exactly what it sounds like. 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. 8 times 8 is 64. 3 times 6 is 18. 5 times 6 is 30. 9 times 3 is 27. 3 times 8 is 24. 5 times 4, 20. And we just get some practice with our multiplication tables. Not really anything fancy to explain here. Let's keep going. All right. And now, multiplying and dividing integers. Let's see. So this one, now we get the same type of practice except we're adding division and we need to work with negatives and positives. So negative 5 times negative 7 is 35. Negative times a negative is a positive. A negative divided by a positive is a negative, so this is negative 3. This is 25. This is negative 56. This one is negative 2. This one is negative 8. So you get the idea. This one, negative 5. 3 goes into 15 5 times, but it's negative. This one is positive 6. The negative cancels the negative. And you get the idea, so we stop. Let's try perfect squares. Knowing your squares is really useful. It's going to help you recognize difference of squares when we're factoring them, and it's the backbone of your multiplication table. So practice your squares. Let's go. 7 squared is 49. 3 squared is 9. 13 squared is 169. 10 squared is 100. 11 squared 121. 3 squared 9. 15 squared is 215. It's that room over there, 215. We're 214 here, which is 14 times 16. 15 times 15 is across the hall. 225. 7 squared is 49. 4 squared is 8. Oh, no, it's not. It's 16. Laugh at yourself a little bit, be amused, and keep going with the next one. Squares and square roots. So here we get to practice both squares and square roots. I will show you in a moment. There we go. The square root of 64. Well, 8 times 8 is 64. So the square root of 64 is 8. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 100 is 10. Square root of 4 squared is 16. I got it right this time. 25, 25, 8, 16. 144, my favorite number. Why? Thank you very much. 3. Yeah, and so not really many surprises here. Just remember this notation means go find me a number that when I multiply it by itself gives me the radicand, the number inside there, 16. So 4 times 4 is 16, so the square root of 16 is 4. Okay. Order of operations. These are tricky. You may need a piece of paper or a whiteboard to work through them, and I'll show you what it would look like if I do use a whiteboard to work through these. So here we go, and I'll get my whiteboard ready, and I'm ready to copy some of these problems. Actually, I'll just pause the video and then get into one. All right, so I've copied the question out. We're over here. Negative 3 plus negative 12 divided by 3 times 1. Times 1. Okay, that's a little trick. So we have to remember our BEDMAS here. Order of operations mean BEDMAS. First we do brackets, then we do exponents, then we do division and multiplication in any order, and then we do addition and subtraction in any order. Okay, so here, the first thing that I need to do is the division and the multiplication. But this multiplication is trivial. Anything multiplied by 1 is itself. So this would be equal to negative 3 plus negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. So negative 3 plus negative 4, well, that would be negative 7. So I can give that as an answer. Here I have 10 plus negative 9 squared. So I have to do the exponent first before I do the addition. So this is 10 plus 81. Negative 9 times negative 9 is positive 81. negative times a negative is a positive. So this one will be 91. There's the answer. And then when you get to the point where you can do these in your head, here I have to do the subtraction first, then the multiplication, and then finally the addition. The reason I do the subtraction first is because it's in brackets. So this will be 5 times negative 9, which is negative 45, and 5 minus 45 is negative 40. This one here, I have to do the bracket first, so this is 7 plus 25 is 32. This one I have to do the division first, and then I multiply by 2, so this is 26. And this one is negative 17. And this one is negative 49, and so on. So you want to practice these. You notice that these ones may be a little longer to do than others because you got to do lots of different operations, but it's great practice. The last two that I want to cover here in this video are greatest common factor, where I look at these two numbers. The greatest common factor of 6 and 42 is 6. Here is the tool that you can use to think about these. Okay, we've been asked to find the greatest common factors of 12 and 40. Do people know how to make factor trees? No. What I do is I look at 12 and I say, 12, that's not a prime number. I can divide it by 2, and that would leave me 6. 6, also not a prime number. I can divide that by 2, and it leaves me 3. I'm left with 2, 2, and 3. Those are all prime numbers. So the factors of 12 are 2 times 2 times 3. 12 equals 2 squared, because there's two 2's there, times 3. Now we do the same thing for 40. I check for divisibility by 2. 2 times 20. And then 20 is divisible by 2. 2 times 10. And then 10 is divisible by 2. 2 times 5. 5 is prime. So the factors of 40 is 8 times 5, or 40 equals 2 to the 3 times 5. Okay? The greatest common factor here, 12 has 4 as a factor, or 2 squared. 40 has 2 cubed as a factor. So the biggest factor they share is 2 times 2. So the biggest factor is 4. Okay? And then I recognize here 26 and 50. The biggest factor they share is 2. And I know that very quickly because 26, I divide it by 2, I get 13 in my mind. 2 times 13 is 26. And I know 13 is not a factor of 50. 50 does not show up in my 13 times table. So the greatest factor is 2. Here the greatest factor is 1. Because 49 only has 7 as a factor. It's 7 squared. 24 happens to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So its greatest common factor is 1. 38 and 24. Well, that is also 1 because 38 is, no, I made a mistake. It's 2 because they're both divisible by 2. And so when you make a mistake, laugh at yourself, be amused, and try again. Lowest common multiple is useful. I don't use this type of thinking as much as I do greatest common factor, but let's go. The least common multiple of 4 and 6, well, that would be 12. Okay, and what you're looking for here is if I take 4 and I do like skip counting by 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on, and then I do skip counting by 6s, 6, 12, oh, there it is. 12 is 3 times 4. 12 is also 2 times 6. So it's what we call a multiple, a common multiple of 4 and 6, and it's the lowest one. There's no lower common multiple of 4 and 6. 9 and 8, well, 72 is the lowest common multiple, because here there's no other multiples common to 9 and 8 that are smaller than 72. You just have to multiply the two of them together. The reason being, 9 and 8 don't share factors yet. Okay, so those are the mental math practice ideas, and try these once a week to build up your speed and some fluency with these operations. Any questions, come find me by email or come find me in class.